Hi again, everybody. I want to give a brief, maybe 5-minute or so overview of the three essential elements of argumentation. These concepts are Greek and go back 2,400 years or so to Aristotle. He's the one who coined them in reference to public oratory in speech during Greek times, and we use them now to discuss what's good rhetorically in argument. Now, these three terms are an essential part of every essay that you do. They are the ethos, or the credibility or believability of your argument, the logos, or logic of your argument, or the pathos, or emotion of your argument. Look, these three things weave together to create a whole argument. You use all three. Generally speaking, the strongest of the two, or the most prevalent, are the first two, the ethos and the logos. So you can't just win on emotion only. You have to combine emotion with intellect. You have to combine emotion and intellect with believability, right? Now, just to point this out, many of these things are inherent in an argument. You don't have to work on them very hard in some cases. But I want you to know what they are. So, starting with the ethos. Ethos means credibility, and in an academic essay, in a college essay, what this means is that you have done the background research. So, in the first example, if we're dealing with a media essay, the reader obviously has to see that you've read and that you understand all the outlets to deal with Prince's death. Once you report these things to the reader to show your awareness, that adds to your credibility. It can also add to your credibility. You guys saw in the first clip that I'm a big Prince fan. So if I relay that to the reader, it's a little notch in my favor, let's say, because the reader knows that I'm passionate about the subject. All right. Still on the subject of ethos. Ethos does mean your evidence. It means quoting your sources. It means providing MLA in-text citations. It means spelling properly. If you don't spell properly, the reader doesn't believe you. It means writing with proper English grammar. If you don't do that, the reader's not going to believe you. It means that you paraphrase properly, that you put others' ideas in your own words and still cite them, even if they're paraphrased, right? You show the reader that you have an extensive subject matter knowledge, you write well, you write with good structure. All of those things make you believable, and that's what ethos is. Now I'm going to skip down to pathos real quick and then end with logos. When I say writing with emotion, I mean just word choice, basically. I don't want you to write big, flowing, teary, flowery sentences in argument, but there's a difference, and I note this in the course notes that you have between writing a sentence such as drunk driving is bad, as opposed to drunk driving is a wicked practice which destroys lives. You just simply want to be conscious of your word choice. Don't overdo the emotion, but when necessary, choose your words for maximum impact on the reader. Leaving a message with the reader makes them convinced that you are correct in your argument. All right, now finally, the logos. Logic is there throughout your essay, from the first word to the last word. But we're going to specify that this applies to a couple of different areas. One is to the logical flow. And you create logical flow in your essays by having a good outline. Know exactly what each paragraph is going to do, know exactly what sources you're going to quote in each paragraph, know exactly what sources you'll paraphrase in each paragraph, and know how you'll connect those paragraphs together in order in the body. So it's about having a nice flow for the reader to follow so the reader doesn't get lost in the process of reading your argument. Secondly, when we're talking about logos, we're talking about avoiding logical errors. Now, you have a whole section on logical fallacies. It's tied to Essay 3. There are videos there for you to watch on what logical fallacies are. You will watch them, but in short, they're logical errors. So we're going to avoid logical errors in here. One way we do that is by using general language. We don't say all, for instance, in argument. We say most. We try to be as general as possible. We try not to name call people. We hear it so much in an election year, but we try to avoid it in argument because we want to stay reasonably sound when we're writing. I have written out notes on these elements, and they are in a Word text-based document on the website in the class. You can check them out. Please read that. Please let me know if you have any questions. To end this little video segment, though, I want to say that these are concepts. These are ideas that we want to weave into argument, but it's not a specific thing in any case. Right? They all work together to create a good argument. We want to be believable. We want to write with good structure and flow. We want to show that we're human and we have emotion. There are lots of different ways to do that, and we'll continue to talk about that in the videos to come.